Today we're going to answer the age-old question of should I wait to sell my house or should I wait to buy a house? That's what we're talking about today. Stay tuned. What is going on, guys? We are coming back at you with more real estate education. Excited to talk today about a topic that I have been getting just flooded with questions about. Should I wait to buy and sell right now, or should I wait and see what's going to happen, or should I do it now? And my answer is always the same. It is always a good time to buy and sell real estate because we know what is happening in the market right now. We don't know what is going to happen 6 months down the road. I wish I had a crystal ball so that I could just make everybody the richest person in the world. That would be sweet. I would love to do that, but I don't. But what I do know is what the market is right now and what the current conditions are. So when people ask you, this video is going to be geared towards other agents. You can use this in your listing presentations. It's what I'm actually going to deliver that this afternoon in a listing presentation about why it makes sense to go ahead and sell. But we're also going to talk through, other options that seller has. We're not just going to say you should just always sell, right? But this is also geared towards you sellers and buyers so that you can go ahead and have this information without having to meet with an annoying salesperson, right?
Hey guys, I wanted to preface this video. I didn't do a good job, or I didn't even touch on it at all, of where I'm getting this information from. So I am not just pulling this out of my rear end. This is actually from a State of the Economy presentation that we did with a partner and that we're a part of. We can't release the name of that yet because we are still in the works with that. But this information is through Goldman Sachs. So this is not BS. This is good, reliable data that is non-emotional and is not what the media is necessarily saying. So hope you enjoy it and learn something, and it helps you make your decisions on what to do with your investments. Thanks, guys.
So should I wait to sell? So Mr. Seller says, Drew, should I wait and sell my house and just wait 6 months and see if I can get like $10,000 more by waiting? What should I do? Should I do that? And I'm gonna look at it and say, Mr. Seller, can I tell you why I'd be slightly worried, not necessarily in a bad way, but why I would be worried to wait and sell if you're prepared to do everything right now? Can I tell you why? They're gonna say, yes, absolutely, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Great. So I'm gonna use a diagram to kind of illustrate what that means, okay? So bear with me. So up here we have the available buyers, right? And in this circle is the available buyers and the current market conditions, okay? So right now we have a lot of things going good for us. So this is that big circle. This is available buyers and the current market conditions. So right now we have a lot of things going for us. One, we got cheap money. Interest rates are low and prices are good and they are climbing as we speak, right? Well, what happens over the course of this next year, two things are going to happen. One, the prices are going to continue to increase. So we're going to be pricing out some of the buyers that are previously looking at your house. So that makes the pool go down, right? So that's going to get smaller there. The increased prices, this is that smaller circle. But also, and I've actually experienced this personally as a buyer, is increased rates. Rates are going up. Now, we don't know what the Fed is going to do. If they spike them way up and everybody goes AWOL, then they most likely would bring them back down, but we don't know. They could stay up, they could go above 4%. We don't know, right? So with that, increased prices and increased interest rates, that brings that pool of buyers down, down, and down, right? So it's simple supply and demand. If you've got a lot of buyers that have cheap money, they're okay paying market value or even more, right? But if the money gets a lot less, it gets a lot more expensive, do you think that they're going to want to still pay a high price for your house? No, they're going to want to get a fair deal, more so than before when it made sense. The rule of thumb is this: if the interest rates go up 1%, that makes that house about 10% more expensive for that buyer. Does that make sense? So thinking of it in the buyer's shoes, it's going to price a lot of these people out of a house that, yesterday they could afford your $400,000 house. Today, all they can afford is a $350,000 house. So that is how that works, right? So that's pretty significant of if we want to max out the value of your home right now, then now is the time before those rates go up any higher that are going to affect those prices, right? So as we come down, as those interest rates come down, that pool of buyers for your particular house in your price range is going down, right? Now, this does not mean that we're going to see a crash. That is not what I'm saying. I'm sure I'll have people like, Drew, you're all doom and gloom. No, I'm not saying there's going to be a crash. All I'm saying is that if you want to maximize the amount of money that you can make, we know what is happening right now. We know that money's still cheap. There's also another option instead of selling, right? You can refinance while the rates are still low and keep that as a rental and use that equity to go and buy now. Does that make sense? So obviously you want to check with your mortgage lender, make sure that your debt to income is not going to be out of whack after that refi, but that is another option that you could do to maximize on these current conditions, right? So, okay, my house is worth $200,000 and I have a loan on it for $100,000. So if I sell, I'm going to walk away with like 180K. Probably a little bit more than that, but just bear with me. So you're going to walk away with that, or you can go to the bank, 80% loan to value, pull out all that money, and then you'll have some of that without having to pay taxes on it. Obviously, if you lived in the house for 2 out of the last 5 years as a primary residence, you're not going to pay taxes anyways. But you get that money out tax-free that then you can go and you have more equity and more capital to put down on that next house with still getting cheap money. So that's the next thing that we're going to talk about is, should I wait to buy? And here's why you should not wait to buy and why you should buy now. So it's the same way as this one, except pretend this says affordable homes right here instead of available homes. So right now you've got a big pool of homes that are affordable, right? Because one, the interest rates are really low and the prices are, you're still having to pay at or above market value to get a house, but there's a lot more houses that are available in your price range and in the neighborhood that you want to live right now due to those conditions. Like we just said, the rates are going to go up and the prices are going to continue to go up. So that pool of affordable houses is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller for you that can only afford a $170,000 house, right? So if you buy now and get the process started now, you can get in a house that is going to continue to appreciate in value. And even if we see a change in the market slightly, the government's already shown that they're not going to let us have some big crazy crash. I'm not a genius, I don't know, but what I see in the market is we are going to have less affordable homes as the rates increase and as the homes increase in value. And it's going to just keep putting home ownership out of reach for the regular average Joe home buyer. So that is what I see in the market and why I say no, you should not wait to buy and sell if it makes sense for you financially. If you don't need to sell, sit on that house, let it appreciate in value, refinance, go invest in something else, do that. But if you need to sell, you're like, dude, I got to move out of this neighborhood, and to be able to buy that next house, I've got to sell. Don't wait around. Do it now while we know what's going on, and then move to that next one. Buy with cheap money so that you can get the best deal possible and have that 3% interest rate or 3.5% interest rate locked in for 30 years so that no matter where those rates go, you've got a cheap monthly house payment. So those are my 2 cents on should you wait to buy and sell. If you think I'm totally wrong, please let me know. I love talking about this stuff because we each have to be our own economist, yes, and what's going to work best for us. But if you need to sell now, or you're thinking about selling now, do it now, and it's going to make sense and benefit you a lot more than waiting around for interest rates to go up, where there's less buyers and less of a bidding war. Not saying there's going to be a crash necessarily in the actual value, but the bidding war aspect of it, getting better terms, easier negotiations on the repairs, stuff like that, that goes away as the buyer pool gets smaller. So instead of, right now we're averaging like 5 offers on a house. Well, what if we're only getting 2? That's still awesome. We're getting 2 at or above asking price offers. But if that deal falls through, the chances of that other buyer that made the offer hasn't already found a house is slim. So then you've got to go back to the market with less options as the seller. So those are my 2 cents. As a buyer, it makes great sense right now. If you can get in a house with a low interest rate and just hold on to that thing, you can't go wrong with buying dirt. So there you have it. I hope that was helpful. That's the messages that I'm delivering in listing appointments right now of, we need to make a move. If you want to do it now, if it makes sense to refinance it, keep it as a rental, dude, I'm all for that. Let's do that. I'd love to help you with that. I'm going to make less money, but I'm going to feel a lot better because I'm helping you grow your wealth. So hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next one.